Great. All right. Welcome, everyone, to our panel. This is finding a career in Minecraft, but also just social media, video gaming, YouTube, everything in general. We're going to focus on Minecraft to begin with, but then we're also going to try and leave as much time for Q&A as possible, so I'm going to speed through the slides so you can ask any questions you have. This is presented by Spawn Point Media, which is our company. We run a few different Minecraft channels. So first off, meet us. Hello, I'm Eystream, Jordan Barclay. This is our Director of Sets, Ethan.
Hi, I'm Ethan.
And so we've launched quite a few channels over the years. Our main one, Eystream, launched in 2012. We launched Firelight in 2019, which Ethan runs as well. We also have Eystream Shorts, launched in 2021, Sponty 222. And I suppose, do we know what we're talking about? Are we qualified to be talking on this topic? We have 7.9 million subscribers and followers across all of our different platforms, 2 billion total views, and over 17,000 years worth of content watched. And we're currently the most watched gaming channel in Australia. So jobs in gaming and social media are at an all-time high. There has never been a better time to get into gaming, into social media. You have salaries ranging from 50 all the way up to like 500K, even higher if you're really specialized with absolutely no degree needed. And most of the people I'm seeing in this career, like Ethan and I, we just played video games during school.
Yeah, you just learn
and
as
that's
you
how
go.
we ended up here. And so Minecraft, the reason why we want to specialize on this in today's panel is because it's currently one of the biggest markets in gaming to actually get a job. And there's so many jobs available. And it's probably one of the highest paying on average, at least from my experience with talking with other people in the industry. So, you're probably wondering, what is it like being a gamer or a YouTuber or whatever working in Minecraft compared to a traditional job? And so Ethan here, as I mentioned, Director of Sets, he's in charge of building stuff. He works here at Spawn Point. So I thought, Ethan, if you want to give us a bit of your experience?
Yeah, so in terms of structure, it's actually pretty nice. It's not too different, except for you just have way more freedom. You can actually be creative with things. You can sort of, I don't know, you can put in your own ideas when you need to. So it's like, I think we could change this. I think you could sort of add this. I'd like this idea on the channel. You can actually pitch things so you feel like you're creating something for yourself at least, which is very nice. And plus you meet a lot of cool people because people who play video games are really cool. I like people who play video games.
Great, thanks Ethan. So, what kind of job opportunities are you looking at? There is a lot. So there's the traditional skills, which are like your video editing, 3D animation, writing. We're going to go through all of these. We have broad Minecraft skills, which I'm sure a lot of you in the audience who just play Minecraft for fun already have to an extent. And then we're going to talk about some specialization. So if you want a career in Minecraft, what should you be looking at? Like what tutorials should you be watching on the internet? We'll go through all of that today. So first off, I want to go through traditional skills. Now, if at any point you guys want to download this slideshow, QR code will be up on the screen there. And so this is for any skills that you might already have. And if you combine them with just knowing Minecraft and its game mechanics, you can pretty much score yourself a job instantly. And honestly, I would say that editors for Minecraft get paid more than just editors in general. So just knowing about the game can open up so many opportunities for you. So with our traditional jobs, I'm not going to go super into detail because there's a lot of stuff here, which is why I recommend if you want that detail, download the slideshow. Also, Spawn Point Media, our company, is hiring for any roles you see today. Those QR codes right up there. If you scan that, that'll be our job opportunities where you can actually apply to work here. And I mean, we have people of all different ages, backgrounds, everything.
Yeah.
We started working, I started working 10. When did you start working?
I think it was in like year 6 we started doing stuff together. So, yeah.
A long time ago. So we definitely, any age group can get into this. So editing is pretty straightforward. You kind of need to know what keeps an audience engaged. The job opportunities are there. Now, what's really important to keep in mind now is the high demand bit. We're going to go into those things in detail later in this presentation. But one thing you might see is one of the job opportunities. We've got independent contractor, so you just go out, you can edit for other people. Creators, which are people like us. The Minecraft marketplace teams, which I want to go in depth here, because this is a big space that if you're looking to work in Minecraft is a really great space. This is the Microsoft Marketplace store. Some of you guys might have seen it before. And this is basically where if you create something, you can sell it through Microsoft. And it's a fantastic place to start off your career.
Yeah.
And I'd say a lot of the people we hire as well have been on a marketplace team before.
Yeah, we just hired someone from Marketplace.
Yeah,
so-
literally just the other day. So let's 3D animation. That's pretty straightforward. I would say this one's a bit harder to get. It's less in demand more and more these days. Writing, this is a big one. So if you understand how Minecraft works, and you also, like, let's say, watch a lot of YouTube, you know, understand what's popular in teen culture, children's culture, this is huge. I think a lot of people would be quick to say, like, I hear all the time, like, oh, if you're in the arts, you can't make a living, or you can't get paid a lot. If you know where to look, you definitely can.
Yeah.
So, like, you know the Minecraft knowledge, and you come in and you're good at writing. I know, like, at least, like, 30, 40 people off the top of my head who will hire you even if you don't have a degree in writing.
Yeah.
You just got to show that, you know, you can write something that's funny.
The thing that saves me with that other one is also like just watching a lot of movies is actually, funnily enough, super helpful for being creative. Like just watching movies, you go, oh, I can do, you know, I can make this happen, and then be like, okay, that'll actually be fun to watch. So
I agree.
watching
Again,
movies is good. Watch
advantage
movies.
of social media
Yeah,
job.
pretty much.
Now this is data analyst for anyone who here likes math. And this is a really important thing that if you are looking at getting into social media, this combined with literally anything else which I put here is in extremely high demand. So basically knowing what people want to watch, like that's the smallest thing. And if you want to get into it, those bolded terms right at the bottom, your AVD, APV, Google them, learn about them. If you know what those mean, you can get hired by pretty much anyone out there. The job opportunities aren't as big for this one, but I will say this is definitely the highest. And so what it looks like being a data analyst is you get a graph like this. This is actually from one of our very own videos. And this is basically somebody has to look at this graph, and this tells you how long people have been watching for, is that blue line there. And basically, someone will look at that and figure out, oh, okay, did Ethan and I say something not funny? And people left our video, which happens more often than you think. Or that little spike there, oh, it's probably not me. It's probably Ethan said something funny.
For me as well, if we look at this, it's also on my end, if we're doing sort of a set or something or creating something that's visually appealing, you can look at this and go, was this actually as good as I thought it was? You know, because you might like it, but other people might not. So you can look at this and also go, okay, I mean, I need more color, I need more sparkles, I need it to be prettier. So that's always very helpful.
Yeah, and so I think this combined with anything else we're about to go through is big. So I wanted to just speed through those traditional skills because I mean you can really learn about those from anywhere. We're going to do a bit more of a in-depth dive on the specific Minecraft skills. Again, you want to download this PowerPoint. There's your QR code. Building and set design. This is Ethan's speciality. He is our director of sets of a team of 4. We have about 8 builders across Eystream, but he manages builds for the Eystream and Firelights channels. I'll quickly go through the basic things. Basically, in building, it's not just even one, like building is just one thing, but you can do large builds using the softwares there, small builds using those things, and map making. Job opportunities with literally anyone. You can always find a job. You combine it with those other 2 things, your modding and development, graphic design, extremely high demand. And then those 2 things highlighted in black, World Edit and the Bedrock Edition marketplace tools. I think I'll get Ethan to speak on these more. If you just knew those 2 things, you can get hired.
Yeah. Okay, so with this, especially, it says there too, commands. Commands are unbelievably useful. It just makes everything sort of, you make everything look way more appealing, make everything more fun. That big build, actually, can we show the big build quickly? I'll talk about that. So this was made by a guy that does work for me. We just hired him. He loves analytics and just making things efficient. So he uses a lot of tools. He knows code as well, so this is where that sort of interchangeable skill. He can code in, I think it's like 20 languages he knows. He just loves sort of code and math and everything. Which you'd think, you know, he might not be as creative, but he uses that to be efficient. So he did this in about, I think, 10 to 15 minutes, this whole thing. Literally by just doing, okay, tower 1, and then he just made something to generate the rest of it, and copy it all around. And then using things like World Edit and Voxel Sniper, if you know them, it's just such a useful tool because like the way you can do things that quick is, it's unbelievable what you can do with just small tools just by having little knowledges of things, especially commands. Just like this build, if you wanted the inside to be sort of really nice and pretty and like moving things, easy. You can do it with commands, data packs, even mods. So just having little knowledge in things is insane, and especially even if you know the basics, you can build on that yourself because it's genuinely fun to just learn sort of how to make things work and move and do things that the game's not really meant to do. So yeah, that's something that him and I do a lot, and then we have another guy that does that with me, and we sort of all just sit around and have our little nerd session and go, wouldn't it be cool if, it did this, and then it blew up here, and so all of that comes from just being self-taught, knowing the basics, looking at a few tutorials, and then just self-teaching from there. So
I think that's a really good point, because Ethan and I, for us, we just kind of played the game and learnt these skills by playing the video game.
Yeah.
Nowadays, obviously, for more complex stuff, we have to teach ourselves and we go online. But literally everything on this slide, you just Google it, and there's a wealth of knowledge out there, and people will just explain to you how to do it. And it takes not very long to learn.
Yeah.
Again, and then you can do stuff like this in, 10, 15 minutes. And so that's the kind of thing that our team does. And yeah, those two black highlighted, just Google them, learn them. It doesn't, I learned World Edit, the top one, in an hour, I think, from a YouTube tutorial, and now it's our job. So it's pretty insane what you can do. We won't go too in depth in some of the commands and data packs that Ethan mentioned, just because we want you to go and take that and look into that more, or we can ask in the Q&A. But I just wanted to ask Ethan, actually, what's your experience like building these things? How do you feel doing it?
I enjoy, so this one I would not be able to do it in that short amount of time because I am not super huge on coding. I know that Matthew, when he did this, he loves doing sort of things like this, more so because he can prove to himself, hey, I can do this in the shortest amount of time possible, and it still looks good. So having him sort of work with me is very fun because I like the outcome. I like the look of being able to go, okay, there's this sort of TV series I like, or there's this idea I've had in my head, or even this dream, and I want it to be built. So then you can literally just go build it, and then I can talk to Matthew, and Matthew can be like, we can make this quicker, and that's just sort of fun, bouncing off each other, learning from each other, and then just the end product is very satisfying when it all sort of comes together and works. You go, this is like a movie. This is so much fun.
It's like getting to build, I don't know, actual buildings in real life, but no limits, and then no
It's
cost,
like making a movie set. It's like making a movie set, and the movie comes together at the end, except no green screen because it's all in game, so you can make it actually happen. So yeah, that's very fun. You can just be very creative with it, which is what I like.
Yeah, definitely. So modding and development. This is if you're into any kind of computer science, programming, that kind of thing. I'm not going to go too in depth here. This is definitely something that you'll need to look into more. But if you combine this with that building that we talked about, or we're about to talk about graphic design, this is largely needed, and there's high demand for it. So modding is when you make changes to the game, so add in additional things. And you can do that through this Forge and Fabric. Those are the terms you need to know. Everything in black highlight is what you need to know. And then the Bedrock Marketplace tools. There's two versions of Minecraft. There's Java Edition and there's Bedrock Edition. Java Edition is on the PC. Bedrock Edition is on everything else. If you want to make things that that are enjoyed by kids, that are interactive and educational and learning, we'd highly recommend Bedrock. If you want to be in our industry, which is like making movies, making fun videos, exciting people, really pushing
limitless.
Limitless. Then Java is the one to go to. And then the programming languages are, Java. And then for Bedrock, it's C++. The other thing Ethan slightly mentioned is the data packs.
Yes.
And these are using Minecraft commands.
So yeah, that's basically Minecraft's code, whatever you'd like to call it. It's just sort of in-game you can do it, but you sort of write up your own packs to do it. With data packs now, you can sort of do everything a mod can do. It's just a lot more work, but you can literally do pretty much anything you want. Granted, you know how to use programs such as Blockbench, which is you can make your own models. And once you can sort of make your own models and do anything like that, you can literally just make, I don't know, you want a dragon, let's make a dragon fly around and do this. You could do that with a data pack, which is all, the beauty of that is it's all completely vanilla, so it's nothing added to the game, so you can literally just give it to someone and then it just works, whereas with the mod you have to install certain things to run the code. But in terms of modding, the beauty of that is it's simple and it's just much easier to be limitless, and nobody knows how to mod very much. There's not a whole lot of people out there that know how to mod well. It's such an incredible skill. I look at people that mod, I'm like, oh my God.
Modding is really picking up. Data packs, I should have probably highlighted that in black, because Ethan mentioned another thing there, Blockbench, which is perfect segue, thank you, for our graphic design here. Now, Blockbench, if you know anything about 3D animation, Blender you've probably heard of. It's basically a software that allows you to make models like this. But it's a more simple version, and Blockbench is designed specifically for Minecraft. So basically, when you make a mod, you do all the coding language and you make it work. But how it looks, I think a lot of modders these days, they don't even know how to make this kind of stuff. So they'll hire someone else or get someone else to make the model. However, if you have both of these skills, then you can make a lot of money because you're able to do it all yourself. And so I'd really recommend Blockbench and Photoshop. Blockbench for 3D, Photoshop for 2D. And this is enabling you to make a ton of things for Minecraft. Mods, skins, resource packs, animations, in-game assets. It's this is probably the easiest job to crack into. Like, you can open up a Twitter account and be like, hey, I can make a model. Within hours, you can get somebody like, hey, I'll pay you like $20 for the model. Like,
I'd say Blockbench also is way easier to learn than Blender.
Yeah, it's much, much easier. Blockbench is super easy.
And it's more useful. Yeah. For Minecraft especially. It's just way, way, way more portable to the game. The only things I've seen Blender used for is sort of if you want to do a big build quick, you can render a build. So again, Matthew, because he just likes doing things in his own time. I'm really talking Matthew up here. Everyone loves Matthew. He wanted pancakes in Minecraft, so he made a giant pancake render in Blender, and then he rendered it into the game. But I can't see much use for that, so instead we just say, let's just do Blockbench and make something in that. So that works way better. Blockbench is such a good skill to have.
I think you'll find in Minecraft, like, the easiest stuff is actually the stuff that more people want. Usually. So neither Ethan and I could use Blockbench, but we have people in the team who could use Blockbench, and it's pretty incredible, and we'd highly recommend it. You can see pretty much everyone wants it. It's even an officially like certified program by Microsoft. They don't make it, they make Minecraft, but they like it so much that Microsoft themselves use that program to make their own game now. Like, that's pretty impressive. And yeah, that's again what it looks like there. So we're going to talk about specialization in a second. You'll see here, very high demand, McHorse Suite specialization. So let's jump forward onto these things. Basically, all the skills you've learned so far, you can make a pretty decent salary with without needing a degree. Like I'd say those last three skills, if you have those, like you could be making from like first year at an employment, you can be making somewhere between 50 to 80K probably first year. Obviously that goes up the more experience you get and so on and so forth. Also age factors into that a bit with your awards that the Gov kind of puts in. And different companies will pay different amounts. But if you combine it with specialization, it can be a bit harder to find jobs with these. But if you do find the jobs, you're looking at, like, you have a lot of power in the job market. Yeah, exactly. You get to choose who you work for, pretty much. So let's talk about the McHorse Suite. This is basically the Adobe Suite for Minecraft. For those of you who don't know, Adobe is like your Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere. Every creator uses these software. But this is like those software, but for Minecraft. So these, out of everything we've talked about today, you can learn most of the basic skills in an hour. This, you'll be here for quite some time learning.
It's very user-friendly, though, in terms of... So there's a lot of hidden things you can do with it, but in terms of just sort of clicking buttons, it is very obvious, click here to do this, click here to do this. But yeah, knowing it in depth is you can literally do anything. It's unbelievable what you can do with this. We have people we know that do it, and they just, whole channel is just based on doing little renders for this, like cartoon renders.
Yeah, you could literally make an entire movie using just this software. It's pretty incredible. So the suite is Blockbuster. That's one of the mods. That's for animating in Minecraft. Aperture is for adding all your keyframing and camera angles. And then the other two there are like additional things onto that. And what's really special about this, and it's different, like you might think, oh, well, I know Blender, or why wouldn't I learn an animation software that everyone uses and I can use for other stuff other than Minecraft? You can, but there are a million other people out there who can do that. Whereas with this makes animations that literally look like you're playing Minecraft. Like, it's indistinguishable.
It doesn't have to either, though.
It doesn't have to. You can make it look realistic. But for the most part, it has that unique skill that Blender can't do. And that's why, if you know this, I'd say it's much easier to find a job than it is Blender these days. And then, again, max demand when combined with anything else. Like, Ethan and I know some of this McHorse Suite, but we are by no means professionals at it. And the team members that we do have that can do this is just incredible. Like, wow, every time. And I have a little video here. I don't know if it's going to auto play here. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, yes, we might.
It's loading.
It's loading.
It's spinning.
I just wanted to show you guys what the software looks like. Oh, it's jumping onto another page.
You can get an ad.
Oh, let's see.
Are there ads?
This is the moment of truth, whether it works or not. I'm going to guess not. That's fine. We'll jump onto the next slide. Just search up Blockbuster. You can see how it works. We're going to quickly jump. I really want to give as much time for Q&A as possible because I feel like there's just so much information we've thrown at all of you. And I don't know which information applies to who, whether you're interested in it or not. So we'll just rush through this, and then that way you guys can ask the things that actually are important to you because, you know, we sit up here and act like we know what we're doing. We really don't.
I hope we do.
I hope we have some idea.
You said that at the start. That
Yeah.
we do.
Oh, yeah. It's like, we know what we're doing.
And you can't tell them that.
Oh, yeah,
You just
true.
play it off.
These are just some other mods that are kind of like Blockbuster. You really can't get a job if you just know these, but if you know these plus anything else we've talked about, massive win. Replay mod is like Blockbuster, but it's for things that have already been recorded. It's a bit hard to explain. It's kind of like adding cameras in post-production.
Well, you become the camera, basically.
Yeah,
so
pretty
you can
much.
put yourself anywhere and sort of, it's like you're just filming a set, sort of post.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a bit hard to explain
Yeah.
without showing it. Little tiles and chisel bits are kind of like, in Minecraft you can build with blocks. With little tiles you can build at the level of an individual pixel.
And you build
so,
1/4.
Yeah.
You need 1/4 of a pixel.
1/4 of a pixel even. So that means you are building stuff that is like super detailed and looks like real life essentially.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty great. Create mod is basically, I probably should let you speak on create mod actually.
Create mod's nice because the way they've coded it allows the game to be very smooth with things. It's just a lot of, it's steampunk. Think steampunk, so the way things move, sort of, you can moving platforms, all these sorts of things. Instead of the way the game sort of works where it's janky things block by block, the way they've coded it is it does it like pixel by pixel, so it looks smooth when things move. That's just good to have in addition when you do maps because it just makes things look a lot prettier. So, you know, if you have a door opening rather than like some sort of jarring moving with just block by block, you can have a full smooth transition, which is
great for us.
Yeah.
In content, we want to make things look as pretty as possible.
Yeah, it's like it's just very wow, and also the things you can do with it are insane in terms of just sort of it's just for moving parts basically, just making things move and look very, very visually appealing.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, marketplace tools. So you probably noticed in almost every slide, one of the job opportunities is Minecraft marketplace teams. And there are thousands of marketplace teams out there. Like, usually, I mean, I say this as a creator, so it's probably a little bit egotistical of me, but usually most people are kind of aiming to work with a creator because you get more flexibility, usually higher pay, better options, and you get to go to cool things like this. But most people kind of get in to get that experience in a Minecraft marketplace team.
It's
these
also
days.
who you meet as well.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people and you learn a lot of things. You
Yeah.
bounce off each other and, you know, you might have used this thing for 5 years and then someone goes, oh, did you know you can just, you know, put a dot here and then it does this different. And you go, wow, okay. So yeah, we've hired, like 2 odd people into my team that used to do Marketplace.
Yeah,
So,
Marketplace is relatively new, but it's pretty much where we're hiring from these days. It's a great place to get experience, and as you said, you meet people who have different outlooks on things, and the thing with Minecraft is because it's infinite creativity and infinite possibilities, everyone has a different way of doing something, and so you can learn a lot of great skills, and even then you can meet people who might know a creator or work for another company, and then job hop that way, and I mean, we've had people who like started working like 12 and they maybe like, you know, made a couple of maps and then sold them themselves as independent contractors. Not that they realize that they're an independent contractor. They sell them to a marketplace company goes, wow, that's great. Then they just do builds here and off. And then, you know, they become 16, 17 and then they get an offer from a bigger company and then they're set for life pretty much.
Yeah, it's also having the people to talk to, sort of being able to go, you know, how do I do this? And then you go, oh, well, I know this marketplace team. I can just DM them directly and they can tell me. So just knowing a lot of people comes from it as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, if you want to make Marketplace your full-time job, which some people do, the skills there under Marketplace jobs, which is what we were leading into, we got a bit sidetracked, are those ones there. And you can Google these up. It's NPCs, Bedrock emotes, and then there's a bunch of like commands we talked about. There's stuff that only works on this version of the game that Microsoft has put in place specifically for us to use in creating maps. So those are the things that you'd want to know if you really want to like get super involved into Minecraft Marketplace. What I will talk about just quickly before we jump into the Q&A is also servers. If you don't know, servers are like multiplayer spaces where people can play Minecraft together. They basically operate the same as your marketplace teams. You're creating mini games, maps, all that kind of stuff with the aim of making it enjoyable, entertaining for people.
Yeah, other thing with marketplace as well is you can have big companies, just random companies that have nothing to do with Minecraft, come to you and say, can you build us a map, or can you do something for us? We played on Lacoste recently.
Yeah, we did a Lacoste map, which was made by a marketplace team.
Yeah, and it was just a big map that they built. And we're like, wow, we do stuff like this, and it's just they just hire random teams that they sort of pick out.
And then Disney works with them all the time. There's like Frozen and all that kind of stuff. Illumination works, like Minions, like all of the what you realize is all of these massive media conglomerates, like your Disney, your Illumination, your Universal Pictures, even insurance companies, believe it or not. We did an insurance map. Like, these companies want to get into Minecraft. They're desperately looking into it. And the fact is, barely anyone is doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone wants it. And everyone's going to keep wanting it because Minecraft is going to be around forever. It's basically Lego, but infinite. And doesn't cost you $100 every time you want to set.
And it just keeps growing in popularity too. So.
So if you get in now, it's a good time to get in because, I mean, the job possibilities are insane. And, a company like Disney, if they can't find someone to make a map, they pay a lot of money for people to do it. And so, they're definitely great opportunities. Yeah. And we do a bit of that here at Spawn Point Media. Anyways, wrapping up with the presentation. I'm sorry if I rushed through that a bit much. Again, if you want this PowerPoint with all of those in-depth details, there's the QR code. If you scan that, that's also going to give you access to the slides that have the QR codes for all of our individual job positions that we have open at Spawn Point Media. We have almost every single one up there. We still have open because, as said, there's not a lot of people doing it. There's a ton of demand. It's a really great place to get involved in. But other than that, we're going to jump onto Q&A now. If you have questions for Ethan or I, or both of us, we should have a roaming mic somewhere. So if you want to stick up your hand, we'll get that mic to you. Now, I can't see anyone, so feel free to pick.
Lights.
Oh, great, we can. Great, we have one right there.
There's actually a question.
So as a creator, how would you go around hiring people?
Okay, I talked about this in a kind of a panel this morning where it was more business focused, more finance focused. If you are a creator and you're just starting out, I wouldn't go about the case of going, like if you want to make videos and you want to hire someone, I wouldn't go about the case going, I'm going to do a proper company structure, then I'm going to have you as an employee, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, Ethan and I used to work together for free back in the day.
Yeah, and also we hired friends to start.
Yeah, we also hired friends. Yeah. The easiest way to do it, I'd say, if you want to make sure you don't get yourself in, if you're a kid, doesn't really matter if you pay your friend $20 here or whatever. If you're looking to get people to do stuff, but you're not like a proper company yet, invoiced contracts are the way to get into that. So basically, you just write up an invoice and go, I did this much, and then you put the number next to it, and then as long as you have that paper trail, it'll cover you in terms of your accounting and finances and stuff like that. But if you're just getting started, don't worry about it.
How do you find people to start though?
How do you find people?
Yeah.
Get on Twitter. Twitter is the easiest place that we've found to find people. And if you are looking to get employed, probably should talk about how to get employed once you've got these skills. Twitter is spot one, but for specific job listings, so Twitter's a great place to get experience, meet other people. Job listings, if you scanned any of those QR codes, they would take you to a website called Bucket of Crabs. Bucket of Crabs is where every Minecraft company, marketplace map, creator, even Microsoft themselves, post their job offerings. It's a whole website just dedicated to Minecraft jobs. That should show you how much demand. I look there every day and there's thousands of jobs waiting to be filled. Definitely, yeah. All right. Oh, yep, great. We have a question there.
So you talked a bit about the horse suite. Can you kind of glanced over it. Can you tell us a bit more about it? Because that sounds really interesting. As like a builder, I'm really interested in these tools and like what kind of level they have of detail they have.
Do you want to take
me? Yeah. Okay. So you can literally just go on the internet. It's on CurseForge, which is where you can just download all mods. Literally just look up Blockbuster or McHorse even.
McHorse Mods.
Yeah, he made the mod, so he has a YouTube channel.
The guy who made the mod, he used to work for us.
Yes, he did.
He literally has a step-by-step tutorial.
Yeah. So with the mods, you can just sort of download everything that you need. Depending on what versions you use of the game, you can just install them as well. It's all very, very accessible online. You just look up the keywords. But yeah, CurseForge and then McHorse's channel, McHorse YouTube, will just have it all. And then it has tutorials for it, and then you can sort of just take it all.
There's a ton of stuff you can do. So we use Blockbuster in a couple of different ways. We use it in videos for like fancy animations. We also use it to tell movies, create stories. You can also use it for like just even like making your character. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with it. It's even hard to like.
Yeah, so the way my team would use it is we do sort of sequence events. So you can link anything to stuff. So you can say, you have this actor, so you can record yourself doing something, he punches a wall. You can make it so once he's punched that wall, it'll then sort of activate either my data pack or commands or TNT even, and that just blows up the wall. So you can sort of make anything happen using that. So it looks like, he's punched the wall and it's exploded, just for example. So yeah, that's how my team will use it, just sort of sequenced events.
Yeah, I should say the reason why we recommend Blockbuster over an animation program is because you can animate it keyframe by keyframe like everything else. Yeah. But like Ethan said, you can click record, then walk into a wall, punch it, and it saves that, as an animated recording, which you can then play back.
Yeah, you just watch yourself
over and over again. You can watch yourself do it, which is why it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, thanks for your question. I think we have, where do we have the next questions? Or where are we looking? Over here? Great.
Have you heard of Script?
Script?
As in for plugins?
Yes.
Yes. So Script, we didn't talk about it today. I can quickly touch on it. Script is another type of programming that's used for plugins for Minecraft servers usually. Sometimes creators use it. It is a good skill to know, but I would say it's been definitely on the down.
It's also just accessibility though.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of things will be trying to use sort of older, you've got your fabrics and forges and simple things. And just the fact that you can get all quality of life stuff that, the majority of people have already made for that, there's no point in sort of making your own. If you can and use that skill, that's insane though. And that's like very useful, but it's just more you're trying to fill in sort of the starting lines first of just the easiest things and the most, widely known things, just so you've got all those assets on hand already, so you don't have to bother wasting your time making things for sort of something that's not really.
There's decreased support for scripts these days, so we probably, like, if there was one thing that we probably wouldn't, like, if you've got scriptability already, it's great to combine with other things, but it's probably not something that you would want to start as if you're looking directly at that as a starting point for your career.
The parcel.
So you've mentioned a lot of specialty roles for like graphic design, but what if you just have a mix match of Minecraft skills? Like you've just been casually playing the game for years, world edit, commands, but you're not really an expert in it. What would you say would be a starting point towards a career?
That's super useful. That's like the most useful.
That's the most useful thing. That's a great point to be at. If you have that, I would say you can pretty much convince anybody to hire you, to be honest. Ideally, though, if you really want to market yourself strong, choose one skill and get an expert in that, and then everything else will fall into place. Like, honestly, if you, sounds like you've got a pretty decent skill set. If you chose World Edit, which is probably the easiest one out of those, and just got really good at that, then you go, I can do World Edit, I'm really great at it, and I can also do all this other stuff.
I understand commands and coding. You'll
find anyone.
Well, I have someone that works under me that he isn't great at building. He doesn't do World Edit, but he knows how to use it. He focuses just solely on data packs and commands. And he's instant hire because we need someone that specializes in that. But because he has knowledge elsewhere, I can actually ask him, can you quickly whip this up for me? And then
he can understand what we're talking about as well.
Yeah, and then we have people that are the polar opposite, just don't have really any knowledge in commands, just World Edit, stuff like that. But the fact that they do know a base level of commands is the most useful part about that. It's so I can actually say to them, okay, do you want me to start teaching you this? Because we do have learning phases. We do take sort of weeks off to just train.
Yeah, we often have to train because there's such a broad amount of skills.
Which is why it's so helpful if you have a base knowledge of both type of things. You're just having a broad knowledge.
All right, where's our next question at?
He's got to run.
Hi, so for the older people that are in the room, not excluding little ones, when we're kind of at the age we want to make sure that we've got stability. Where do you find Minecraft going in the future? Do you feel like Minecraft is just going to continue growing, or do you think eventually that it's going to kind of die off like some of the other popular games that have happened?
Yep, so I wouldn't be up here giving this panel to, especially when my audience, for those of you who watch my videos, are younger. I definitely would not, I would find it very irresponsible for me to give this talk if I didn't think it's going to be around. So it's been around for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And it has done nothing but grow. And I mean, we have committed our entire company to it, and there are hundreds of other companies who have committed their entire company just to Minecraft because there is so much confidence that it's not going away. I mean, Lego is still here, and the only thing Lego really got replaced by is Minecraft. Minecraft, I don't see it being replaced for a very long time. We'd have to
It's just like
have a
'cause it's so
technology
creative.
above computers.
Yeah, it's just because it's so creative, though. Like, in terms of a big popular game, you know, you play it, people watch it, I've seen that done, and you can enjoy it if you love the game yourself. Obviously, you're passionate about it. But even for sort of people that aren't as passionate, I've watched some people do stuff with Blockbuster, and I go, oh my God, this is just a movie. And, you know, I'll sit there and watch that on YouTube because I'm just watching this masterpiece. But that's completely separate in my mind from, like, this is Minecraft. I'm just sitting here going, oh my God, this person just created this fantastic thing. So it's just more because it's just limitless possibilities with the game itself, because everything's just so open source. You can just do anything you want. People have even made the game not blocks. People have made the game completely smoothed out and just a normal, flat sort of game. So that's really where it comes into play.
I would say you have
from other
very
games. Yeah.
Short answer, strong stability.
Yeah.
Honestly, more so than most of your traditional jobs at the moment, because I reckon most of the jobs that you're learning in school and they're teaching in uni will be gone within the next 20, 30 years. Like, you look at professional typewriters used to be a job, and they thought they were going to be around forever. This is definitely one of the jobs of the future, and it's going to be one with strong stability, for sure.
Just anything to do with computers, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there any way to fix the glitch with the Minecraft command blocks? Sometimes if you make it so you use like a pressure plate or a button or something, then you click it, and it's meant to teleport the nearest player to somewhere, but it teleports maybe the farthest player away from it furthest.
Would you like me to talk to you afterwards? I can write it down
We're
for you.
doing a meet and greet at 3:45.
I can just walk up to you afterwards. I can write it down for you.
That's a bit of a slightly more complicated question. Respect, especially from someone so young, but definitely.
That's great.
I mean, we'll be there at that meet and greet 3:45. I don't know exactly what room. We'll say it at the end of the panel, and we can answer that question in depth with you, because that's the kind of work that we do in depth for sure.
Hey there. Do you think that Hightail will be a very strong competitor to Minecraft?
Great question. It could have been.
they messed up sometimes.
For those of you who don't know, Hightail is made by a Minecraft company who decided to go make their own game, the Hypixel, and it looked amazing. It first was announced in 2015
Yeah,
to launch.
they hyped it too early was one of their big problems.
Yeah.
They hyped it so much, everyone wanted it, and then I ask people now, and some people forgot. They go, oh, I forgot that was the thing. It's like Minecraft movie.
It also
That
got
was
bought by
ages
Riot
ago.
Games, and
yeah,
so it
true.
also means it may not even get a release date. I know the guys who actually are in charge of that game personally, and they have no idea what's going to happen with it. If it did come out, even my own opinion, I've seen many games like that come and go. Obviously, Hightail had a lot of big hype, but it won't top Minecraft, because the difference with it will not be as accessible as Minecraft is. Minecraft is even being used in our schooling system now as part of curriculum.
It's just the freedom. It's because it doesn't have it lacks the freedom of just being completely open source. Everything's
because
being
you think
accessible.
about a younger audience, Hightail is just a bit too complex.
It's also,
in that
it's also
regard.
follows
Follows the
one
story.
strict path, one strict story. Whereas that's the beauty of Minecraft and being so open, is you can just create your own.
Yeah, we see it being a successful game when it comes out.
Yeah, it should do pretty well.
But definitely not on the level of Minecraft, or probably even Roblox, to be honest.
Roblox has the same thing.
yeah,
you can
Roblox
make your own
has-
maps and create anything.
Yeah, that would, definitely. And that's even the opinion of the game makers themselves, who I've spoken to.
Yeah.
Yep, all right, where is our next question at? Up here, great.
With Blender, how would you use it to I don't know,
make a Minecraft animation, for example? Like, how would you be able to use that for the animation?
Okay, that is a big big question. Obviously, we're gonna direct you to YouTube once again. But basically, Blender, you don't even have to do this from scratch. You can Google download Minecraft rig, and basically, or you can just create rigs from scratch and then sell them to other people, right? But a rig is basically like a block or a character, and you basically, with Blender, you create a Minecraft world, but just inside the Blender software, which then, because it's inside the software, you can control like how the character moves, how the block moves, you can add in lighting, all that kind of stuff.
So it's not really actually in the game.
Yeah, it's not
That's the
in
thing,
the
it's
game.
Not actually
it's
Minecraft.
You're
tricking
basically
people.
making it look like Minecraft by using a bunch of graphics or 3D models and then just moving them because Blender allows you to move them. But it's not actually Minecraft, if that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. All the way up here.
Is there a path I can start now to help with a content creation career?
My number one, look, all right, depends what you're into. If you're really creative, building and set design, easiest one to get into straight away. If you are analytical, maths, like if you like maths at school, this one here, data analyst, great. Because if you get older and you decide, hey, I don't want to do Minecraft anymore, but I still want to work in social media, or even any career, like this is a broad skill, they'll love this. Those would be my two starting ones for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Well, like, because I knew many years back, I knew someone who was very, very young, and she was into being creative, and she started by sort of just making her own maps, then she made her own little server, and then she, learned a few little commands here and there. Now she knows how to mod, just on her own, just mod anything she wants, and I have no clue what she does. But yeah, so you sort of just start little steps. As it's really just playing the game you will learn yourself. Like everything that I know is mostly self-taught.
Yeah, it's about wanting to learn and try new things in the game. But obviously, if you really want to go into it, there are a plethora of tools online to get into it. All right, where are we looking next?
Yep.
Great.
So I've got a question around, say, like as a company and a YouTube channel, how do you decide whether you do or don't want to respond to, say, potentially controversial changes that Mojang or YouTube as a whole have come out with? Say, for example, the chat reporting feature. Like sometimes, like that was quite a big event in the Minecraft community, and I'd say sometimes you, like, whether you do want to respond to it, because the community is like expecting a response, given the size that you have, or like there's an aspect you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. If you don't agree with the response, how do you go about that?
We actually work with Microsoft directly.
Yeah.
And you know what? When that chat reporting feature came out, I sent them a very upset email complaining. So different Minecraft creators are different. We are a very family-friendly channel. We respect that we don't want to be pushing on our opinions, whether that's political, religious, whatever, onto our audience. And so we usually tend not to speak about things that are affecting the community. We believe that's the parents' role and it's not our role. However, that doesn't mean we aren't doing things in the background, especially when it comes to the game. Like if we think a game isn't actually, like Mojang is saying that made the game safer, the chat reporting feature, for example, we disagree. We are still working in the background to kind of have those conversations. And I would say that with YouTube and with all of these gaming, all the social media stuff, the kind of like the bite the hand that feeds you isn't really a thing in our industry. Like it's more a thing in traditional industry because it can be a problem. But for us, it's actually us who have the power.
Well, yeah, and
not
we're also
them.
just being creative, so it's not the hugest thing because we are just trying to be creative and things like that. So it might not affect sort of a video as much because we're just trying to tell a story, have a bit of fun, be creative. Also, beauty of Minecraft, if they add something you don't like, you just go backwards. You don't have to use what they added. So
yeah, you don't have to use it.
That's why it's such a great game because you have glitches that don't work for you, something that doesn't work, you can literally just go back to the previous version.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello again.
Hello.
I'm also an open source developer for mods, and I was wondering, do you guys think there's many opportunities for monetization in that area?
if you are doing it on your own, you can monetize through ads. I would say I've worked with a lot of mod devs over my time. You could make 5, 10, 20 times more if you find a creator to work with, like for example here at Spawn Point, or
you work for a modding company.
or if you work for a modding company. There are even companies dedicated to just one of these things, like modding, for example. And then we also use a modding company as well that we outsource to. So you can, I would say, if you're looking to it, you would definitely, I would recommend go find a company, a marketplace team, something like that. You'll make a lot more, I can guarantee you.
And you also sort of, when you have that company, if you ever do work with creators, you decide how much you want to get paid there, really.
Yeah.
Because it's the creator asking you to do something. So, yeah.
I mean, let's talk about McHorse, for example.
Yeah.
McHorse, he made all these incredible mods that have given so many people jobs. But he himself can't make enough from the job that he was actually working for us. So like, that should give you kind of an idea of what you're looking for in that kind of realm. Yeah. All right, where are we looking now?
Thinking about things from a content creation point of view in general rather than Minecraft specifically, am I right in thinking that what your company does is mostly YouTube videos? And if so, how do you go about monetizing those? Which ways do you find are the most successful?
All right, monetization. Let's do a quick guideline. If you are in gaming, AdSense, which is basically the ads that YouTube puts on your videos, they are the #1 way to make money. There's no around it. If you're in other niches, especially if you're in finance, health, beauty, those kind of fashion, those ones you're mainly looking at sponsorship deals as your primary source of income. And that's the same across TikTok, Instagram, because we also make videos across social media as well. Same thing. The other opportunities, I mean, the standard thing I think YouTubers will tell you is like merch, like that kind of thing. But I would disagree with that. We've been doing this for 10 years. We'd say AdSense, focus all your energy. Just go straight into AdSense. YouTube has the best monetization of any platform, no question. And then I would say, other than that, live streaming on YouTube is becoming the next wave. It's just, I would say, like things like donations, memberships, which is a feature that YouTube offers. It's kind of like Twitch subs, where you give special things to your audience, like badges or like videos, like special videos, or in our case, we give our fans access to a Minecraft server, and you pay a monthly fee. Those would be the best ways to monetize your content in gaming, but it's a bit of a, depends what your content is, because for every industry it's different. I'd say if you're in gaming, the ones that you wait, you don't try and pursue them immediately, are like your merch, your sponsorships, like stuff like that.
If you think of them as like a product to sell, it's sort of a bad mindset. You're sort of more looking at them as, you know, a way for someone to donate to you, but actually get something back for it. So someone to actually feel like they're contributing to you, but then them also, you know, getting something for it, not just sort of donating money and that's it. You actually get, you know, hey, I got a cool hoodie now. So it just, thinking of that as a way of this is my sort of income is not the greatest, because merch is sort of a way you want to allow your community to just have something that they can actually show for it.
Yeah, we don't take any profit off merch. We don't even put margins on our merch. We literally make them for the price that they cost us to make them and sell them at that price.
Yeah,
merch is more about advertising than anything. So that would be our advice.
From like a small YouTube point of view, what's the best way to what kind of videos for Minecraft videos would be a good way to start for a family-friendly channel similar to yours?
You can always, so in terms of just gaining sort of traction, it's just consistency, just being super consistent. Because as long as you keep pushing stuff, YouTube's sort of going to eventually go, okay, people are coming back, people are looking, people are watching you, which is why it's so detrimental. You know, if you don't upload a video for a week, then YouTube sort of just puts you under the rug and say, well, you're dead now, no more. And then just also, you can always look at big creators and see, you know, what do people like to see? What's fun? What's, you know, what's enjoyable? You know, this creator played this map, it did super well, everyone loved it. what can I do different now? What can I make that funny or that entertaining with that same map, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what Ethan said right there. If you're starting out, look at what the big creators are doing, because clearly they're doing something right. And you go, oh, well, if they enjoyed that, can I do this but put my own spin on it somehow? Like, can I add, is it commentary? Is it like this extra twist? Is it like something else I can add onto it? That's a great place to start. And most of the stuff that big creators do, you can do by yourself. It's just that we need a team because we do it. Like, we turn over a lot of videos. We make, across all of our channels, we make 15, 16 videos a week. So that's the only reason we need the teams. But anything we do, you could just do it yourself. It just takes longer.
And that's also the consistency thing. Having that team is like, that keeps us being more consistent. So, you know, videos do better because we're just pumping out videos that...
We've pretty much created one video a week, at least, since I started when I was 10. Which was like in 2012, so that was a long...
Yeah, as long as you keep
consistency is big.
Yeah. You have people that upload once a week and they are massive channels, but if the second they don't upload that one video a week, it sort of starts to drop down a bit. So it's just being consistent with it and not pumping out rubbish, you know? Make sure you're actually putting in the effort and making it something enjoyable that you would watch.
If you make bad content, that's a #1 way to like...
Yeah, might as well not upload it.
Consistency is good, but don't... It's better to prioritize quality over quantity. Huge note there, yeah.
Just in general, and also in specific, where do you see this industry in the next 5 years? You've mentioned it just going up, but like, in where specifics do you think it's heading?
Okay, yeah, out of the current jobs here, I'd probably say modding, graphic design, building. It's hard to say like specifically which growth area because we'll just see growth.
Things like Blockbench and modeling is growing so fast. People are wanting models more and more and more, something to actually make their video, as we were saying before, unique, something different to everyone else. You know, I want this character in my video that people can relate to or people like watching.
It's a hard question because Minecraft is just growing at such a ridiculous pace that you can almost not even pinpoint one spot, to be honest. I think the creator economy is definitely, out of everything there, the creators are the ones that'll keep growing, for sure.
Yeah.
Just to touch on what you were talking about before, in terms of that consistency, especially at a small level without a team behind you, how do you go about having a work-life balance and not getting burnt out by having to pump out videos all the time to stay afloat in the YouTube algorithm?
You have to love it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, when we started, we were working a lot. I was working a lot.
Yeah, it was during school too, so it's trying to balance that.
During school, it was tough. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say you probably, that's why, here's the thing. This is why we're recommending all of these different types of jobs. If you are the kind of person who can take on that amount of work and you are happy to you will have, for an extent, if you're starting a channel, there is some, and you're doing it fully properly, you might not see a lot of work-life balance in the first year or two, in the way that you'd like. I mean, we work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 now, but that's why. So there isn't an easy way around it. If you want to be a creator, it's going to be tough work. But with these jobs, you can tend to go, I just want to work 1 or 2 days a week, and you can still get paid really well.
Yeah, you can start not doing your own channel too, which is, I'd recommend that, to be honest. If you start working for someone else who has sort of already made it past that big gap or sort of grown a bit, because we've had 2 people that do their own content.
Yeah, 2 people who have
under my team anyway.
I think total we've had 4 or 5 people who have worked for us for a couple of years, gotten some fantastic skills, started their own channels, and we even have one guy, Etho, who...
We have people that also have their own channels, but then do work for us instead, just so they can sort of grow, make some money, and then they actually learn the skills, they can build on that. You know, we've had...
Well, yeah, Etho has 3 million subs now, and we hired him when he had 0 subs. Yeah. And a lot of the skills he learned were with us.
He did all Blockbuster. His whole channel is Blockbuster.
Yeah,
so
all Blockbuster.
Yeah, so he's now just a good friend. And that's the other thing. It's just people you meet during that time. So I now, if I'm doing Blockbuster, I can call Etho directly and be like, how do you do this? Because I've just sort of had that growing, doing things with him before I had a channel myself. So now if I'm doing something for my channel, I can go, bounce off that person I knew when they had 0 subs who are now big and know all this information. So yeah, it's sort of just the people you meet, as well as you don't have to sort of rush into doing your own thing. You can also assist someone else doing their thing and grow from them. Because I know now, I have a channel now which grows directly off Jordan's channel now, which is sort of wouldn't have happened originally. I would have had to just be dying trying to pump
Start
out
this
videos
from
all the
scratch.
time. Yeah, so.
Yeah, we probably have time for 1 or 2 more questions, depending how big the questions are, so we'll just
Sorry, I talk a
shoot
lot.
through that. No, so do I, it's fine.
Mine's only like a quick question.
Yes.
Just a bit of a funny one. Which like type of style of videos do you reckon is going to be like the next big thing
Vanilla.
from your perspectives?
Vanilla with a twist.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's not really the next big thing, it's the current thing. What's the next big thing?
I think it's going to stay.
You think it's going to stay?
I think people very much look for relatability in it. So if you have sort of all these fantastic models and the game doesn't look like the game anymore, that's going to be either good because it trended, but that isn't something you'll be able to keep up consistently just because it's so sort of unrelatable for everyone. Someone looks at that and goes, okay, I've seen this 4 or 5 times now, but I can't do any of this. I don't know what's going on. So if the game can sort of keep looking vanilla, but also you can tell sort of the story. So we do maps looking very vanilla, but also we have, as you saw before, the models and things, them sort of added into the game. People can sort of look at that and go, wow, this is fun. And I can tell this is Minecraft. I play this game. I have relatability to this. So I don't know. I feel like vanilla is just always going to be popular.
Yeah, I think, well, vanilla's always popular. As far as the next big thing, I think that's probably going to stay the next big thing. There are like little small explosion spots.
We might get a survival series stuff coming back. Yeah.
If you're doing like educational videos in Minecraft, that's already seen a massive takeoff because they're showing them in schools now.
Education edition, yeah.
And like all the US schools now use Minecraft to teach their curriculum.
Yeah.
They're going to introduce it into our chemistry curriculum here in Australia. Like, you've got all of this stuff, and kids are going to be watching them for homework. Like, so it's a massive market there for sure. I think education probably is like, if you don't want to go head first into proper, like, into like popular culture, then education's a massive market.
Yeah.
It's going to be blowing up.
I think maps also always trail. The marketplace maps, they always trail along behind and never sort of die off because, again, that's just infinite creativity, but it's something a creator can just pick up and go, I want to do a video on this, which is like, yeah, they're using my map. Everyone look at my map. So,
all right, one more question.
You mentioned the crab bucket before for looking for jobs. Is there a particular website you'd recommend just for social community aspect of getting into the development community?
So specifically mod development, was that? Yeah. Twitter, go look at, this is the way we do it. Oh, I did at least when I started. Go to creators, find like a modder on, like search mods on the internet, right? Then go look at who made that mod, go to their Twitter page, then go through who they followed, and go and follow every single person. Chances are one of them will have a Discord, a modding. There are tons.
Once you get into the Discord,
tons of modding Discords out there. You get into one of them, you're in a community of 50, 100 people who are all wanting to do exactly what you want to do. That would be the way to go for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get into the Discord, that's big.
Yeah. So Twitter is a great starting. Like, go search for a mod, find a bunch of creators, follow those creators, then look at who they follow them, reply to tweets, like things. Guaranteed one of them or most of them will have Discords. You get involved in there. You're in a community. Done. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming along to our panel. Hopefully you learned something. Thank you.
I want to talk to you.
We're not going to stick around here for too much stuff because we actually have a meet and greet, which is at 3:45 p.m. If you want to come ask any more questions, if you want to take photos, we can sign things. That'll be at level 2 in the meeting room 218. So we will, especially you, we'll see you there. Yeah, other than that, have a great rest of PAX, guys. Thank you.